We say surprisingly because the economy of Israel doesn't have a lot of things going for it, and it has a lot going against it. It's impossible to look at the economy of Israel without acknowledging the historically hostile relationship it has had with its neighbours, and while I'm not nearly knowledgeable or brave enough to talk about the geopolitical intricacies of this region, economies tend to do a lot better when they work well with surrounding countries, which is an advantage Israel does not have. Purely through the lens of economics, this is a real challenge because they don't have direct trading partners across their borders, they have to spend a larger portion of their national budget on defence, and their only real access to global trade is over the ocean. And although that's typically the best option anyway, it's nice to have alternatives, especially for commodities like oil that can be transported through pipelines. Speaking of which, the country also doesn't have much in the way of natural resources, arable farmland, or a population big enough to use for low-cost manufacturing. In 2009, Israel was spending more than 5% of its GDP on energy imports, which not only made it vulnerable to the countries supplying this energy, many of whom really didn't like them, but it also meant that economic growth in competitive industry would be a challenge when so much capital was flowing overseas just to keep the lights on, literally.